All right, everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Bird Squawks, your weekly geeking out, nerding out, talking about Marvel and DC and anime and podcasts and music and pop culture and video games. Just whatever nerd stuff is out there right now. I have with me two of my favorite co-hosts in the world. I have one, Mr. Corn down below. He's the one. Yeah, look at him over there. Then we also have young Da Vinci over. Yeah, I'm pointing the wrong way. This side over here. Yeah, yeah. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves a little bit real quick? Tell the people what are you into. What's your nerd culture?
I'll go first. My nerd culture is mostly video games. I guess like video games, a little bit of anime. Starting to just get into like the whole like Marvel DC comic thing. Of course, growing up, I've grown up on it. DC Comics, Marvel Comics, old school Justice League, old school Teen Titans, all that good stuff. So it's nice to see that there's so many DC and Marvel things that are coming out. So it's just like I feel like I'm a kid again. It's great.
Nice,
What I'm in.
nice. What about you, Da Vinci?
Honestly, video games. Recently started getting into Dark Souls, Sekiro, and all that kind of stuff. Like, kind of games that you have to think besides just going there and then smashing particularly the X or square button. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then I've been into DC and Marvel for the longest. Favorite superhero, Spider-Man. He's the best, man. He's awesome. You got all
Good
kinds of
choice. That's a great choice, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen to him in his next movie. He may even feature in some other movies or TV shows before then. It's absolutely crazy what's going on in the Marvelverse right now. But today actually gathered us so we can speak about the newest DC release, the Snyderverse, the Snyder Cut, the Snyder re-release, remaster of the Justice League theatrical cut. It is amazing. The fans have been asking for this for years, and we finally get it, and it does not disappoint. To those out there who may be reading a particular GameSpot review written by someone who doesn't know what he's talking about that says it's like watching a superhero movie, it's like watching the paint dry in a superhero movie, that's absolutely false. Absolutely false. Not even close. Even the most boringest scenes in this cut, to me personally, were better than the theatrical release. And there, I was bored to tears in the theatrical release, like several. Oh man. What did y'all think? Let's see. What did y'all think about the original Justice League, the theatrical release?
Honestly,
Initial thoughts?
when I first saw the original Justice League, like I honestly barely remember it. Like the only time that I remember the first Justice League theatrical release was watching the Snyder Cut, and not to do any spoilers, but basically the first Wonder Woman scene. And at first I was just like, I feel like I've seen this before. Why is this? I feel like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I did see the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, this one was definitely way more entertaining. Very, very pleasing to the eyes. I mean, at first, the whole like hearing that it was like 4 hours or whatever, it was kind of a turnoff. But like, I think it was worth it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was very entertaining.
Nice.
This version was rushed. It was completely rushed. I remember seeing it I saw it for the Justice League movie. I saw it for the advanced screening, and it was pretty exciting. I mean, I was pretty excited. Justice League movie. Okay, we skipped a whole bunch of other movies that could have happened, but that's okay. Let's get right into it.
Right. Yeah.
You do Iron Man, Thor, the Avengers. Just out of nowhere, like okay, origin, and let's just we'll go from there.
Great.
But as you watch the movie, I mean, the scenes just didn't make sense to me. like I said, it was just very, very rushed. The CGI, no less, was horrendous. Horrendous. But, I mean,
Have to agree there.
I don't
Have
know
to agree
what,
there.
yeah, I don't know what his, honestly, I don't know what his idea of Justice League was. He really didn't have any idea or any meaning to it when he was trying to make it. Whereas if you compare it to Snyder's work, it's just beautiful from start, literally from start, till it just goes on.
Mm-hmm.
The scenes were so much.
Absolutely. To me, it really, like, the original Justice League felt uninspired, honestly. It felt like Joss Whedon didn't have any real skin in the game. He wasn't attached to the characters. He didn't have previous movies to go off of to build a theme. Yeah. Whereas, as Zack Snyder, exactly like you said, Da Vinci, how from the moment the movie starts, like, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous the whole time, and sure, there are, heavy dialogue scenes, but they're really important. And to me, I was honestly way more accepting of those dialogue scenes in this version because they're talking about important things. We're not going to spoil it for those out there who have not seen it yet. I understand that it's not even been out for 24 hours yet. It's completely understandable. We'll give you some time to watch it, but pay attention to what they're talking about because there is a lot of context that you miss in the theatrical cut. Especially if you're a DC fan, if you're familiar with these characters already. Oh wow, the things they talk about in this are amazing. Like, make sure y'all pay attention.
Every single character, anything they mention or any specific, just like how it is with Marvel. If a name is mentioned, it doesn't have to be a superhero. It can just be literally his name before he dons the cape or the suit of that specific hero.
Mm-hmm.
That was mentioned from, whenever you see company names and stuff like that, stuff's going to go down. There's going to be more members later. Hopefully, though, that does happen because the studio completely just botched the first Justice. And having their 100% hold of what he was going to do, it was so much better. So if the studio realizes that, and they can see that it brings so many viewers towards where HBO wasn't even working, which literally there's too many people. So how many people does it take to make an app crash? Because there's too
many. Yeah.
Like I'm excited for this one, and I'm not gonna lie, like completely different. But the Suicide Squad James Gunn version looks really fun. So if it sees how good these movies can do, you never know. Like we might even get a 2 or 3. We might even get like a whole ton of like Snyderverse kind of thing.
That would be amazing, and it really raises the question: what is DC and Warner Brothers going to do now? Are they going to follow suit with this amazing release that they know the fans are going to want more of this universe? Or are they just going to continue to do their own thing and try to change it? I'm glad you mentioned the new Suicide Squad coming out, the Suicide Squad, because I want to see what kind of changes they made, how they address the characters. Some characters died way too early in the first Suicide Squad, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see them given new life in this one.
But talking about the Suicide Squad, wasn't David Ayer, I think that's his name, like the original director, and then they changed to somebody else? Which is what completely happened.
I think it was a similar issue to the Justice League movie. And I know there were a bunch of reshoots for it as well.
Yeah. That's one thing that I missed out on. I never really got to see Suicide Squad, sadly. And a lot of people, and the one main reason why is a lot of people just said it wasn't the best, and it just kind of turned me off to the fact that you said that they're going to be redoing it. That's maybe now I'll actually make time to watch it, because one thing that I liked about this Justice League, the Snyder Cut, is when they introduced like Flash and Cyborg. Oh, we lost Young Da Vinci.
No. Young Da Vinci. Let's
But
see if we can't add him back in.
yeah, basically, like when they introduced like Cyborg and Flash, it just felt like you're watching a separate movie at one point. You know, like the whole introduction. I don't want to say anything, but like introduction of Flash, and then like when Cyborg like gets his when he has his story told and everything. It felt like I was just watching just a separate movie, not Justice League. It was like I was watching, the Flash movie or the Cyborg movie, and it was just really, really well done. Like, I just hope they make like a Flash movie or like kind of go back and touch bases with, uh, you know, people that were in his little origin and stuff like that. It's just really, really well done.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
absolutely. The Flash has always been my favorite DC character, so I really like this.
Same.
I really like this portrayal of him in Justice League, and in the Snyder Cut. He does get a little bit more action scenes, and to me, I feel like the maybe reanimation or how they reshot the scenes of him going into the Speed Force. Oh man, those blew me away. They were so much better than the first one. And I'm sorry, y'all. This isn't spoilers. If you've seen the first one, you know what we're talking about. Whenever Flash, his running just didn't look right. It just didn't. And the effects didn't really match the speed at which he was supposed to be moving. It didn't really make sense. But in this one, I was, yes.
Amazing.
Now, my one minor complaint about the Flash, I don't think they picked an actor that knows how to run properly. I don't think he's ever run track before. He does kind of have a weird flair to his legs, and his arms are not moving in cadence at all. But hey, man, he's fast, and I just imagine that this Barry Allen just never ran track, never did sports, and it was just given super speed. And was like, I'm just going to do my best. This is how I run.
So Bird. Have you ever seen the Cable Guy? Or have you seen the Cable Guy?
Cable Guy, I've seen it.
Remember that part when he was having the nightmare and Jim Carrey was running after him and he was like swinging his arms up like that? That's how the Flash runs.
Yeah.
I swear.
Like, how are you breaking the speed? How are you breaking the speed barrier? Breaking the sound barrier. Like, dude, that's not aerodynamic. But it's a great movie. That's just my one complaint. Maybe they'll get it right when the Flash gets his own movie.
Some running lessons.
Speaking of characters getting their own movies, one that I really want to see if they correct this or if they recast Cyborg, because his backstory, I'll leave it at that. His backstory was wow, and I need more. I need a Cyborg movie. You can't just leave that out, especially if you're going to continue to build from this Snyder Cut. Yeah, like Cyborg is extremely important.
He probably would if Warner Brothers wouldn't get involved.
Mm-hmm.
He probably not get involved if they're not. Because,
So do you think we're looking at a recast?
With the ongoing situation, it was never resolved.
True.
You heard it one day and then the next day, no. I don't blame him if he decides not to. He'd be great, honestly, because he did a great job, honestly. It was great. What I was reading on it, people were saying, like, Cyborg, he's going to redeem himself in this movie. Yeah, he was. And he did pretty good. Definitely want to see more. Definitely, throughout the movie, there are some CGI parts where you're like, okay, it's noticeable, It's noticeable. But if something were to happen, man, the improvements on the CGI and stuff would be great, honestly.
Yeah.
Speaking of CGI, I personally love how Darkseid looks. I personally like how he looked. If they went deeper with detail, kind of like Thanos from Avengers,
mm-hmm.
They could be good. They definitely could. If this is something that's going to pick up and continue to be something bigger, it could be a possibility. He looks great now. Just imagine if it happens with all that budget later on.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna get more into discussing that character in just a few minutes. But before we get there, let's wrap up this segment by giving it a rating out of 10 and discuss why you feel it deserves that score. I'd like to go last, so let's make Corn go first. Corn.
All right, so after watching all 4 hours of it from start to finish, out of 10, I think me personally, and I'm not the hugest fan of. Like I said, I was just now getting into comics and DC comics and stuff like that. But on a scale of 1 out of 10, dude, I give it a solid 8 in my opinion. Only reason why, like, I feel like it could have been cut down a little bit, or not cut down, but like just put in like parts, like so we can like binge it and everything. To have it like one full movie, like, sometimes you kind of feel obligated to like watch the whole thing, and I mean, and that's just like a minor thing. Other than that, like it was beautiful from start to finish. It makes me want to see what what the new Justice League movie would be like, and at the end, like, oh my goodness, one of my third favorite DC characters introduced. It was insane. I was just like, please. It reminded me of Justice League. It was beautiful. I'm gonna give it an 8.
8. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. How about you, Da Vinci? Where do you land?
Honestly, so me personally, I would give it a 10. It's an improvement, definitely from what we've seen, and from watching the Justice League animated series to the Justice League Unlimited too. You get that. You play some like if you play some games and if you read some comics, you'll get a whole bunch of Justice League story. And the way that this one was portrayed, to me, I like it. Honestly, yeah. Even some of the storytelling in some of the scenes, it brings me Injustice vibes. Honestly, I don't know if you ever played Injustice.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Story. It gives me
Love
story, it. Man. It's what they're going with. I'm all for it. The action scenes were great. Everything, like I said, every little thing got me super excited. I've never been this excited about a film since probably Spider-Man 2. I mean, it's a great film. It's a great film. Personally loved it. It's definitely a movie to see countless of times. It is a bit long, but it brings me back to binge watch the Lord of the Rings.
True.
Right.
I can manage. Just give me a comfy piece. We're good. I'd say.
Nice. Okay, we have an 8 and a 10. A perfect 10. That's a really great score. I'm going to land exactly in the middle of those at a 9. At a 9. It's really, really, really good. I do agree with Corn on some things that the pacing of it is a little bit odd, and like if you want to watch it again, you really have to like watch the whole 4-hour thing. I remember they were originally discussing releasing it in 4 parts, 4 1-hour parts, and while the movie is definitely enjoyable as a one binge, the pacing really does fit those 4-part segments. Like you really feel like, okay, hour 1, boom, all this happened. Where there's already new stuff going on. You got to pay attention, and you're starting to lay the foundation of the story. Boom, hour 2. Okay, we're getting some fights and some more story, and it's getting a little bit faster paced, but there's still a lot of talking going on. But to me specifically, hour 3 and hour 4 were like, all right, they were completely different than the first 2 hours of the movie. So I think there's nothing wrong with that at all. So I can't really dock it from that perspective. I think whenever it comes to DVD, that's going to be perfect. Because if you're like, I just want to watch the last part, or I just want to watch this part, then you can, all right, pop it in and just get to this chapter. Boop, no problem. But the only other thing that I want to put it at a 9, still just the pacing. The pacing for me was just a little bit off. I did end up taking a couple breaks. I didn't watch 4 hours straight. I do like that it's separated into chapters, so you can actually. There's good moments where you're like, all right, this is a good bathroom break. Get some water, get a snack, pause, come right back. But it's a fantastic movie. It's beautiful all the way through. It's extremely engaging. The most boring scene that I thought from Justice League, the theatrical cut, was when Clark and Lois go back to the farm. And, like, they remind Superman who he is. I don't know what it was, but for me then, that scene just seemed really, really, really long and really boring. And I shut down. But for some reason this time, it was actually interesting, especially after a reveal that comes prior to that about Martha Kent. But that just raises some questions. So I'm just gonna land right here at it now. We got an 8, a 9, and a 10, all fantastic scores for this movie. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you sit down with your family and watch it. If you've never watched a Justice League movie in your life, don't watch a theatrical cut. Just watch this one. We're just throwing that one out. Sorry, Joss Whedon. That one just doesn't exist anymore. Throw it out. All right. At this point in the show, we're going to briefly transition over to our next topic. We will talk spoilers for the Snyder Cut. So stick around towards the end of the episode. We'll get into the spoiler section and we'll get into the nitty gritty. But for now, almost the exact same day as Snyder Cut, we get a Marvel release with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Wow, Marvel is at it, y'all. Marvel is just releasing hit after hit after hit. I'm still reeling from WandaVision. I haven't even had time to process that, and here we are starting another brand new series.
They're really pumping these things out, dude. And it was just. I remember when WandaVision came out. I didn't know what I was getting into after watching the first episode. I was like, "What is this?" And then the second episode, this is trippy. This is kind of okay. I'm listening now. Mm-hmm. This one was it felt like I was watching the I don't know, prologue to an Avengers movie. There was just explosions and just shit blowing up everywhere, dude. I'm just like, this is like an Avengers movie. It still had its Avengers. I like to call it Avengers humor, where it's comic book humor, but it's in vocal and theatrical form.
Right.
The whole what was it? The Counselor and the Winter Soldier. It still had its Avengers comedy in it, which I thought was pretty funny. I think it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. I'm excited for this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It said it was going to be 8 episodes, right? Or was it? I don't remember how many it was.
About 8. It's probably the same as one of it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
10 or 9 was it supposed to be for WandaVision, and then they had to cut it down.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
It's really I think they're doing a lot of world building for Marvel Phase 4. Because in WandaVision, they did introduce a couple new heroes there. I'm not going to spoil all of that for those who may not have watched WandaVision yet. Definitely go check that out. But they're already starting to expand on ideas, where certain heroes are, what are they doing, and I feel like Captain America is going to continue the same trend. I'm not going to spoil any major details, but as we know that other heroes are going to be in this one, the one thing I want to say is Colonel James Rhodey does make an appearance, so that other heroes and other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, or I guess they're S.W.O.R.D. now, are still around, and the heroes are still around. So they're really just prepping for the next phase of bigger and more powerful heroes and villains.
I mean, it's setting up definitely a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's set up for Captain Marvel 2.
That's right.
I'm very excited to see, all that beef Monica has, I believe her name was.
Right.
Yeah. See that, man. Can you imagine her just seeing Captain Marvel hey, what's up? I got powers too. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, we're gonna get Doctor Strange, which is, I know we're all excited.
Yes, I think Doctor Strange is the one that I'm most hyped to see.
Dude,
Especially now that we know that Wanda's going to be making an appearance in that movie, and there is a little reference about which one is more powerful between Doctor Strange and Scarlet. Like, I would love to see that.
yeah.
I don't even want to see them like duke it out and fight and compare. I want to see them do some crazy stuff together against some magical enemy out there.
I think we can duke it out. It'd be super great to see them duke it out.
Mhm.
If both of them go head to head, then we would have a glimpse of like how far they progress with their power. I think.
Yeah.
Because Strange to suddenly Infinity War, this man knew a whole lot. Like we saw magic we haven't seen him done before. So within that time frame of now and then 10, I'm excited to see what they do.
Oh, you're absolutely right, because we didn't get to see him pull out a whole lot of new in Infinity War and Endgame. You know, a little bit in the final battle, but there's all kinds of magic that he knows now. Okay. Okay.
Definitely, yeah. It's coming in hot.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
No, but, I haven't seen Falcon and Winter Soldier yet. But I'm excited for Baron Zemo. I'll tell you that. I'm excited for that villain because I wanted to see more since Civil War. I mean, that man did a lot of damage. So
He did.
him,
He did. Without any powers or any super villain plot or just, regular regular villain, All right. Taking down empires.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what happens with that. What I'm excited to see is like how the story would progress with those two.
Mhm.
Especially how with Wanda was, we had no idea, and then bam, it just throws it all at you.
Right.
Same
Yeah.
thing. I'm excited what's gonna happen with this. If it's gonna tease anything towards the end, or if it's gonna set something up. It would definitely be to see how it all goes, and then hopefully, we do get to see him with his. As I think in the comics, he actually like changed his suit as soon as he donned his shield, and he looked
Right.
like Captain.
Yeah, he did.
So
He did.
hopefully, it'll be the same with what they did with Wanda. It's the end,
Mhm.
because he's just getting the shield, so maybe not, but I'm excited to see how he progresses with that.
Oh yeah, we definitely should be seeing a new outfit, whether it's the Captain America outfit or I know that Marvel has said at some point we're going to see Anthony Mackie in the original Falcon outfit, the red and white one. I want to see that. I want to see a version of that. Just like we got to see the original outfit for Scarlet Witch. Sorry, spoilers, y'all. Sorry.
And for me.
Y'all know who she is. Y'all know what she looks like. Yeah, you get to see the outfit. And it's dope. So I love whenever they finally do a major reveal of a fan favorite costume in the movies.
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's crazy because even though, it was just like coming back to Wanda, even though it was just like a Halloween kind of like costume version of it, it still looked great. It's still really good to see that interpretation. It might not be all cool looking stuff, but it's the fact that at least we get to see that character wear it.
Yeah.
I can call it a day. I'm saying, all right, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Nice.
If it turned something like that, that'd be cool. Even if it was just a prototype, you know what I mean? If he had,
Right.
See what even if we get to see it, or if he just gets to wear it for a quick second, that's it. I'm good.
Yeah.
It was worth it. That'd be great.
Absolutely. That'll be great. We're in really the best time for comic book media right now. Everything is coming out, and we're going to be coming back every week to talk to you, viewers and listeners, about it, let you know what's going on. Outside of simply comic nerd culture, there is a lot of anime coming out. Wow. We are just a few days out of the release of some of the major seasons of anime. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. I'm looking forward to My Hero Academia. Y'all know I love My Hero Academia. This man right here down there put me on My Hero Academia. And now I read the manga, and I'm completely caught up on the manga. So I know that this show is going to go through season 7 or 8 at least. Oh, wow. Y'all aren't ready what's coming for season 5. And I'm going to review every single episode. Like,
I'm reading it, man. See, I stopped reading it for a while because I was like, I'm going to wait for it to be anime because I know it's going to be beautiful, damn it. So,
it is going to be beautiful. It's going to be so amazing. If y'all haven't yet, go check out the My Hero Academia season 5 trailer. I think there's 2 actually. The first one is the main arc is going to be another training arc between Class A, Class 1A, Class A and Class B. But right after that, some crazy stuff is going to go down, and they kind of hint to it in the second trailer. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all aren't ready. Oh, man. Oh.
It's going to be nuts.
What animes are y'all watching now, or what are you expecting to come up soon?
I'm watching Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Infinity, and a friend of mine told me that it's the spider anime where the girl gets transformed into a spider. He said that was a cute one.
Oh, it's like So What? I'm a Spider.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
One. Yeah, so he said it was a nice.
Yeah.
What he says, a breath of fresh air. I'm just like, so.
Skate the Infinity definitely deserves a special shout out. I heard you mention that one. That is a great anime. It's a skateboarding anime. Oh man, and especially if you've ever skated or watched skaters or been interested in skateboarding in your life, like that's the anime for you. It's such a feel good, but like fantastically drawn. The artwork is amazing. And the heroes are fantastic, and you love seeing the battles between the skaters. It's
very over the top. It's like, I like animes like that where they'll take something like skating, like it's a sport, and like it has X Games and everything, but like when it comes to anime, it's so like over the top and just ridiculous. I like it. I like shows like that, like Kuroko no Basket. Like it just takes like just basketball. Everybody that's that likes nerdy stuff, they'll be playing games or whatever, but like they think about basketball anime. Wait, what the hell is this? And then you watch it, and it's just like, holy shit, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like, I didn't even know you could go Super Saiyan and dunk at the same time. Shit like that.
Sure, why not?
Right. But like skate, I like the skateboard anime. It's pretty good. It's really, really well drawn and fun. Makes me want to skate, but I don't think I can. I don't think I got the weight limit down. Let's see.
You just need a longboard. Yeah.
I need a longest board. Longer board.
How about you, Mr. Da Vinci?
I haven't honestly been watching. I don't remember the last time I watched anime. I think it was at your place.
Okay.
Wow, honestly said, I'm gonna say that much anime. I mean, I've been wanting to rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho if I can find it.
Ooh.
That's one of the ones that I've just, I haven't seen it in a long time. Like Cowboy Bebop too. I just honestly like the older animes more. I've come to realize I like the early Gundam. Those were fantastic. I mean, honestly, any mecha anime from back in the 80s, great.
Yeah.
And
G Gundam's a classic. Oh, it's so good.
Great.
Oh.
And then you have Open Lead, Open Light, I think it's called. That's just that's a hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't caught up with it. I need to.
What about you, Bird? What have you been watching?
Let's see. Lately, I've been I just caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, and then I started rewatching Tokyo Ghoul Re because I didn't get it, honestly. I tried to watch it the first time and I was so confused, so I guess I needed a break, so now I'm coming back with fresh eyes, and it's like, okay, I know that it's good. You just have to see it from the right. I don't know. It's a Tokyo Ghoul Re, for those out there who haven't seen it or don't know, was a very a very divisive anime because the first 2 seasons of Tokyo Ghoul are legendary, epic. Like that's the stuff you talk about for years. You tell your children about and raise them and watch them, make them watch ghouls eat people and yeah. Anyway, but then Tokyo Ghoul was done by a different anime studio, so they changed the artistic style, and it's good. The story's there. It just doesn't have that same raw appeal as the original Tokyo Ghoul to me. On top of that, the main character has an identity crisis, we'll say. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's very confusing the first time, for me, anyway. But, yeah, Attack on Titan for me has been very real. I was sorry to hear that Japan did suffer another earthquake last Saturday, or Saturday, one of those days. And so they did delay the previous episode of Attack on Titan, but that means we're going to get a double episode this week. So I'm very much looking forward to see what happens there.
Me too, man. Because it was the latest episode was really, really good. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Just it just was just random. Just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Getting it over there.
Yeah. I really just want to see what Aaron's plan is and what's exactly going to happen there. Also, the theme song is amazing. Every season of Attack on Titan has great music, but like this season 4 is perfect.
Oh god, yeah, you really like that song.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we were watching at your place, and you hit the high notes. I was just like, dang, the passion was there. I was like, dang.
Yeah, I remember.
The octave change was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. Get out of my ear, damn it.
Yeah, there's a really good video out there where it's like the first time you hear the song, and it's the meme of I forget the actor. What's John Travolta? That one meme where John Travolta's like looking around and he's lost.
Yeah. Oh god.
And then it shows, and then it's like the fifth, and then by the 5th episode, and like everybody's dancing and jigging and twerking and jumping and losing their minds. It's like, yeah, I don't know, that song just hits, and then there's a particular part in the middle where it gets quiet and you think it's over, and it comes back so loud. And I remember when you were over, and like I was in another room, and right when that part hit, I like ran back and jumped in the room, and I was like, yeah!
It slid in, almost took out your legs.
Yeah, no, I get into it sometimes. You can ask Da Vinci about whenever we watched Game of Thrones. Oh wow, that was yeah. I was like jumping out of my seat and yelling. It was I don't think it was the night battle in the final season. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Good old, that one.
All right. Well, we are coming towards the end of the episode. Now we are going to go ahead and hop into spoiler territory for the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Okay.
What spoilers do y'all want to discuss first? I'm interested to see what y'all have.
My goodness, dude. Oh, yeah, go for it.
Go for it, Corey. Go for it.
Yeah, well, dude, Martian Manhunter's back, dude. Oh my god.
Martian Manhunter.
Oh my god, dude. That's one of my favorites.
Is Superman's mom
John?
or something?
Just-
I don't know. It was confusing.
John is back?
John?
Little boy John? Dude.
John Johns?
John?
John Johns.
Oh my god, man. When I saw, I was just like, the part where he was talking to Lois, I was just like, wait a minute.
I'm gonna be honest, I had to rewind that part because that didn't make any sense to me. And even when I rewound it and watched it again, it still doesn't make any sense. But it's an interesting reveal. And for me, that is the first wow moment in the movie. And I was like, wow, we're 2 hours and like 18 minutes in, and finally I'm like, what?
I was like,
What? Oh my god!
My favorite part is when he was talking to Bruce Wayne, and I thought they were just going to talk and he was going to leave, but then he said, "Some call me Martian." I got up.
I was like, yes. That was my favorite part.
That was a hell of a reveal because he was also the general that's been there since Man of Steel. So he's been amongst us the whole time. Like, wow, that blew my mind.
Yeah. When he turned into the general, I was like, no way. I was like, he's been here the whole time. I was so excited when I saw that. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I love Martian Manhunter, dude.
Yeah. Now, that reveal does beg the question, does Martian Manhunter know about Darkseid? Because he went to go see Lois Lane and, like, to cheer her up and tell her, like, to don't give up on life and stuff. But then later, he goes and talks to Bruce Wayne after he has that Lois is the key moment, and it just makes him wonder. Because he already knew Darkseid's name, he knew that something was coming, and yet he wasn't, like, he wasn't around in the main action of the fight. So he's just watching from a distance. So, like, what does Martian Manhunter know?
I'm pretty sure he knows because even when he was talking, he was at them. So, and then as we saw towards the end, that Darkseid, he said, "Build a heart." It's probably gonna be something like Justice League Dark Apocalypse, where he just rains it all down with a bunch of baby goes ham. Because, he knows about the life explosion. He's not going to stop. Steve Darkseid in animated films and comics. I mean, he's not. So, if that's what I was curious to, like, where was Martian Manhunter during all of this? And what I was thinking is probably trying, I don't know, like, then I can probably go to space. He's probably trying to get recruits. Heck, he's probably trying to find, some of the Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
On the night verse, they were one of the Lanterns dead. So, hopefully, the man's been recruited.
Yeah.
Your help.
Right.
Yeah, but no, my scene is gonna have to be finally like the confrontation of Jared Leto's Joker with Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
That was incredible. It was crazy.
Yeah, I was at the edge of my seat and, like, paying very, like, as much attention as I could. Like, I didn't want to miss anything.
Attention right to it. I mean, his laugh still, you just can't get the Joker's laugh. But, I mean, one thing that I think about too, if you compare, how he tried to laugh before, like during the Suicide Squad, film now, rough. It sounds completely rap. Like this man just says, F it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You almost had me there.
The part that honestly blew my mind is when he mentioned Jason Todd and then he mentioned Harley Quinn. So
yeah.
He's like, you know what? I'm gonna hurt you with words. And it's like, okay, I got some too. That to me was mind blowing. And then seeing Mara with them too and everything, I was like, man, they did my boy Aquaman wrong in here.
Oh yeah.
But that was that whole scene.
And for that part, you had to have like 200% attention, like you said. And I felt like that conversation was for the super fans. If you weren't aware of the history of these characters, the different movies they've been in, the different plots, the different comics and story arcs and alternate universes and all of this stuff, this would be way over your head. You would have no idea who that, Jason Todd even is, or how Batman felt guilty about what happened to him after he sent him after Joker. And for them to actually address this in the cinematic world makes me really wish that if DC, if you're listening, I highly doubt it, but if you are, just don't rush this next series of DC movies. Take your time. You have so many stories you can pull from and so much stuff you've already planted in your own movies that if you tell these stories properly, it's going to be amazing and you'll be at Marvel level, if not higher, Because to me personally, I've always thought the DC movies, yeah, they are a little dark or whatever, but I like that. They feel mature in comparison to Marvel. And Marvel gets it right. I'm not putting Marvel down at all. Marvel is the shit. They are running the show when it comes to the comic book movies. However, I did like the maturity, the violence, the kind of dark tone, questioning of motives and ideals for the DC villains and heroes. Whereas Marvel, usually I'm a good guy, and why am I a good guy? Because I'm a good guy. That's a lot of depth you get for a lot of their characters.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm like, even if you compare the Snyder Cut to like Falcon, or the new Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, in the Falcon, when he was, well, you haven't seen it, Diego, but there's, I mean, I was just gonna say like when the Falcon is fighting, and he like destroys the chopper or whatever, it's implied that, no one's going to walk from, a chopper getting hit with a missile, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Marvel series, other than like, Vision getting his brain ripped out of his face, it's all implied. But in the Snyder Cut, Steppenwolf was ripping people in half underwater, bro. Bro, he was ripping them in underwater. He was apart. Bro,
it's so brutal,
ridiculous. Oh my goodness, it's wild. That's one thing that I do like about DC. It is very mature, and it seems like, I guess because Batman has no powers, it just seems more like if people in our world today would have powers, how they would handle it and what they would do with it and stuff like that. But like in Marvel, it's more like over the top, like textbook hero sort of deal. Like, and not that it's a bad thing. It's just two different comics.
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't get the hate for what some people have no problem for Marvel. You see them like they're both different. They're both they're diverse. I mean, yeah, you have some characters that do the same thing and they look the same. Okay, fine. Yeah. It's gonna happen. It's fine. It is how different these characters, how they get these powers, what they do with it. They use it for the good, for the bad. Crush too.
Yeah.
And that's great. I mean, yeah, I love it. Honestly, if DC could make as good as movies like this one and Aquaman and Shazam, I'm all for it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. And Wonder Woman's 80 or 84. I'm just not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, yeah, if they can do great movies like that, yeah, definitely. Because Marvel has, they're very, they are kind of, in a way, which is still, it's still fun. It's still fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. I can watch those movies anytime. But there's something about DC that you're like, I want to watch that. It makes your attention. It's completely, not saying that it's just so dark. It's so dark and you see things for how you want to see it. You don't want it censored. You want comic book stuff private. Kind of, like how Logan was. We always wanted to see a very, very gruesome rating. When we got that, damn, it was great. So when you do movies like that, I don't know, it just makes it 10 times better.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I can, at least with me personally, I feel like I connect to the hero or villain a little bit more when you know that they're going all out, that they're putting their life on the line, that this is a real battle here. And not all of the Marvel fights feel that way. Most of the time, the hero holds back until the very last minute for the final punch, and that's the battle. Not that that's wrong. They have really cool fight scenes and cool powers, and choreography is great. But for me, for a lot of the DC fights, like, you really feel like, especially in Snyder Cut, like, all these heroes are battling for their lives. Like, they could die. You feel like they are really at risk of dying, especially right after Superman just died in the previous movie. Like, you realize the stakes are real. which to me perfectly leads into my spoiler moment. And that was the moment when they were doing their best to fight um, Steppenwolf, and it was kind of a fair fight, but they were winning. And then Superman shows up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this. I'm Superman." And he's like, no problem at all, right? Superman beats him. He throws Steppenwolf. Wonder Woman jumps up and cuts his head off. And immediately at that moment, who shows up? Darkseid. Like I was like, oh, y'all are doing great. Y'all are gonna win the. Oh shit. Oh, it's on now. Like, oh man. And then like even that timing, because his body was already in the air and moving, then Steppenwolf's body and head land at Darkseid's feet in his world. Like that's the ultimate insult. Oh wow, he's pissed. He is pissed.
Because he crushed that dude's head. He was like,
absolutely. Well, yeah, because and even then, like Steppenwolf was nothing to him. Steppenwolf couldn't raise a finger to him, not even close, and they were struggling. So you know that Darkseid, like, wow, they're gonna need a lot more heroes for sure, and like at least 8 more movies.
at least 8 more movies. That's like every hour.
It was very exciting to see Granny do this stuff. It was very exciting to see Granny. Although we didn't see her do much, you know, standing there, but still just seeing her there, I was like,
yeah.
So,
The aesthetic team did a really great job at making the villains look fantastic and the world look amazing. I thought that the ships were fantastic. Oh, one of my favorite moments, and if you blinked you would have missed it, was whenever they showed the future of Darkseid in Atlantis, and he did the laser eyes. I was like, yes! He did the eyes, and my wife missed it. I was like, you missed it. He did the eyes. Go back. And he just went, bam, and that's it. You missed it. Oh, ah!
No, that's all. Yeah, I remember seeing that. It made me think of Injustice. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't block that.
The Omegas.
There's so many parts in that movie, even if it's like a little part or a part or a quick few seconds. It has so many. And that's why because it's seen that you've seen in anime films and it's stuff that you see in comics. It's like, okay, it's gonna happen one day. And then when you get just 4 hours of pure goodness, oh yeah, it's an overload.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great though. I'm just glad that Flash played a. I mean, they did the Flash part so well, like at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was so good. I hated the way he ran though, but still, like, it was still well done. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And you felt that moment, and you knew he was already wounded too.
Oh yeah.
And he was just thrust in that position where he's like, my only option is to time travel.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he's in his head, he's thinking the thing that his dad said to him, which was like, make your own future and make your own past and something. And the whole time I was thinking, Flashpoint. He's in Flashpoint.
Honestly,
definitely.
Ever since that you can change their mind, I was just like, oh yeah. That's one thing I'm super excited too, because I remember, I think they said that Michael Keaton's Batman is coming. I hope I'm correct for that, because they showed an image during I think it was the DC fandom of last, where they had a bunch of previews, even for Black Adam is coming on. So dude, the future of DC is going to be great if they keep this.
Oh yeah.
If they keep this up, don't get me wrong, I love Marvel, I love DC, but DC might have my heart in the next few years. If they play their cards right, oh yeah.
Dude. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, man. What a time to be alive. And we get to go through all of it and come back and talk about it to you viewers and listeners. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you, Young Da Vinci. Thank you, Mr. Korn, for being here with me. Viewers, this episode was a little bit long at 54 minutes. We're going to try to keep them a little bit shorter in the future, but we appreciate you sticking through to the end. We're going to try to keep this a weekly thing. Probably you can expect Saturday releases. We'll record at some point during the week and maybe release every Saturday. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and we look forward to sharing it with you. Peace out.
Take it easy.